In a quiet neighborhood in Nara, Japan, there lived a couple whose marriage seemed normal from the outside. They had been together for years, raising children, sharing a home, and living what appeared to be an ordinary life. But inside that house, something deeply unusual was happening, something almost impossible to imagine. The wife, named Yumi, had not heard her husband speak to her in over 20 years. It wasn't that he couldn't speak. He talked to their children. He spoke to neighbors, co-workers, even strangers. But when it came to his wife, he chose silence. At first, Yumi thought it was just a phase. Maybe he was upset. Maybe work stress was affecting him. She tried to talk to him, asked if something was wrong, tried to fix whatever she thought she had done. But he never responded. Not a single word. Days turned into weeks. Weeks into months. And eventually, years. Despite the silence, they continued living together. They raised their children side by side. When Yumi needed to communicate something important, she would speak, but he would only respond with gestures, nods, or short written notes. There were no arguments, no shouting, just a cold, quiet distance. Imagine living with someone for decades, and never hearing their voice directed at you. Their children grew up witnessing this strange dynamic. At first, they didn't fully understand it. But as they got older, it began to trouble them. Why was their father ignoring their mother? What had she done? One day, their son decided he had had enough. He couldn't stand seeing his mother treated this way any longer. So he took action. Without telling his father, he contacted a Japanese TV show that specializes in resolving family issues. He asked for their help to uncover the truth. The show arranged a meeting. They invited the father to sit down in a park, the same park where he had once taken Yumi on dates when they were young. For the first time in 20 years, the husband agreed to face his wife and speak. The atmosphere was tense. Cameras were rolling. Their children watched anxiously from a distance. Yumi sat quietly, unsure of what was about to happen. Then, finally, the man spoke. His voice was calm, but filled with emotion. He admitted that he had never stopped caring about his wife. In fact, the reason he had been silent all these years was something completely unexpected. He was jealous. After their children were born, Yumi became fully devoted to raising them. She spent all her time caring for the kids, making sure they were happy and safe. But in the process, the husband felt left behind. Ignored. Unimportant. Instead of expressing his feelings like most people would, he chose a different path, one that would define their relationship for decades. He stopped talking. Not out of hatred, but out of frustration and pride. He said he didn't know how to start talking again after so much time had passed. The silence had gone on for so long that breaking it felt impossible. Yumi listened quietly. After 20 years of silence, she was finally hearing his true feelings. There were no dramatic tears, no shouting, no anger. Just a quiet understanding, and the weight of lost time. The story shocked viewers across Japan. Many couldn't believe that something like this could happen, two people living under the same roof, sharing a life, yet separated by silence for 2 decades. But in a strange way, it also showed something deeply human. Sometimes, people don't know how to express pain. Sometimes pride, insecurity, or fear can build invisible walls between even the closest relationships. And sometimes, those walls last far longer than they should. After that day, the husband finally broke his silence. For the first time in 20 years, he spoke to his wife again.